Cinematography.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And if this is your first time, it's so great to have you on the channel. This is Zion Culture, and we will be having a movie review now. And the movie we'll be reviewing is what? ABATTOIR. I thought you guys were going to say ABATTOIR. Or ABATTOIR.
People have been saying that a lot. Abattoir.
Yeah.
It's not abattoir.
The right pronunciation is ABATTOIR. ABATTOIR. Okay, I think we need to put it out there that the first time we watched it was yesterday during the Drama Ministers Power Night. And so what are our thoughts on it?
The movie is fun. I like the movie. Okay, I'm not a fan of Nigerian movies. I am not a fan of Nigerian movies. But when I saw the ABATTOIR come on, it was
really nice.
I liked it.
It was
I liked
you
it.
everything it was supposed to be giving.
Actually, I think at some point too, I was like that. You know, when you're exposed to some very nice things, as it were, when you see some things that are not as good, you really don't like it. And at some point, I felt like the Nigerian movie industry was like that, right? And
at some point.
Yeah. But when I started watching Monzayon movies, like, we're not talking about Land of Fury, but Land of Fury really got my attention. I was like, wow, and this is a Nigerian movie. So I have an exception, and this is not because I'm a Monzayon person, but I have an exception for Monzayon movies. When it comes to Nigerian movies, I feel the storyline is very, very nice, and also the technicalities.
And
so,
the message.
And the message,
And it's not something too common.
Actually,
uniqueness.
Actually.
Okay, let's talk about the casting.
The casting, I really feel this is a very nice one, because if you can cast right, even if the actors are not like over the top, very good actors, the fact that you've given them what they are comfortable with, do you understand? They just flow very well. And then they do just little acting, and then it blows it up. And I think the casting was very, very right. It was very, very right. For example, Pastor Lawrence Oyo.
Yeah, his debut.
He didn't have to talk. Just looking at him, you feel like, yes,
facial
he's like one of all these spoiled brats, as it were. His acting was actually very nice.
I know there are some actors that there's a particular role that they always play.
Yes.
The particular role they always
They're not
play.
versatile.
And it's not just because they cannot play other roles, but because they're actually good when it comes to playing the particular role. And ABATTOIR actually like made it that way. They made all the actors act a particular parts they are good at.
Actually, then I feel still about the casting. There were people that they are just very, and that's what I was talking about. Like when the casting is right, like if you give someone that he might not necessarily be a very good actor, right? But you give him something that it's almost like his personality. He's going to do very well in it. I still feel there were people that were given things they were not necessarily like it's not their personality, right?
It's not this like spoiled brat type of thing, but he did it like he delivered really well. So.
But you know, the casting was also done so that when they're passing information across, the audience will get it very well. You don't need like, okay, you have to do so much work in order to be able to portray the message you're trying to give to the audience. This one, the messages were coming out clearly.
Actually, that's very true. That's very true. And I was going to talk about Pastor Lawrence about that. He doesn't really understand very good Yoruba. But then he was born into a Yoruba family, right? Badi? Badi, right? But he didn't necessarily have to speak Yoruba. Why? Because he's a spoiled brat. He even went to school abroad. And he just came from, so like it was very natural. You get natural, so
and then it showed in the way he spoke to his mother that he came from abroad, spoiled brat.
Yeah.
I'm doing something out there.
Okay, I don't want to go out of point, but can we talk about this guy's dress?
Actually. Wait, who's dressing? My dressing?
Yours, obviously.
Please, let's not talk about my dressing. Let's move on.
Let's talk about the acting now.
We'll go to the acting now.
I would really love to commend this duo. That's Damilola, Mike Bamiloye, and Pastor too.
See, I don't know why. I love their acting.
Really believable.
Please.
Really nice. The banter that siblings normally have, even though they're not biological siblings, but like that banter in between themselves, the shades they're throwing, it was really nice. Like one would give one, the other person would reply.
That scene when we're in the living room.
Can you at least shut up? How dare you? No, like respectfully.
And when they were at the car, when they were with the car,
Didn't really banter there, but
For that living room.
after Damilola said he brought his father as a gift.
yes.
That was
Yes.
in the bedroom. That was in the bedroom.
Then also talking about the acting, I think we need to give it to Pastor Lawrence Oil. You remember that part where his mom came in and was like, "Your father wants you to come up," and he was like, "You know what? I don't know." Then the moment his dad comes in, he's like, "Yes, sir." I'm like, "What?" I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. So it was really nice. It was really nice.
The way he just jumped into action.
I'm
You know when you have
telling
that
you.
strict father.
Like it was
Perfect. It was
it
not
was like
I will if I have the opportunity. Yes, sir.
Mommy, why did you say? Why did you tell me? Why did you tell
And
me?
the father was
switch
looking
on that
like,
personality.
so it was like, I got you. Yeah.
what about Eniola?
Yeah, she gave us a subtle, really nice.
She was like the one
Yes.
calming the
Yes.
banter between Damilola and Pastor Tolu.
And her facial expressions. I
Were
noticed
on
her facial
point.
expressions when they presented the gifts to Babagbero car, and Babagbero did not really appreciate it in a way that Gbero would actually want it. Her facial expressions were on point, and I like how they focused on it because she expressed it properly. She did it well.
Come on.
Praise God! Praise God!
That's
The
how a
blood
typical
of
Yoruba Nigerian woman would actually act that part.
She did it so
The
well.
way she was rolling on the floor and hugging the car, like blood of Jesus.
No, it was really good.
So let's talk about the sound effects.
Let's give it to Jay Mikey. Let's give it to Jay Mikey.
You know, when you
He did really well with it.
when you have the right
to God.
speakers, it just takes you to another level. I was not sitting in front, but you know the Power 9 speakers, the way they were just bringing everything, you were just feeling chills down your spine, like, oh my god, this is really nice. This is really nice.
like
Yeah.
that.
The way that sat
And they
at
sold
the
it
front got the whole cinema.
Actually,
God.
it feels like you're in a movie room or something.
And we're eating our popcorn, do you remember?
Yes.
Serious cinema
moment.
I feel like I'm the odd one out now.
Yes, you are actually.
All right.
Yeah. You
All
are.
Okay, so like there was this versatility in the sound effects. Anytime that it was on Aki, there was this cool beat that came in, and it was really cool and nice underneath everything he was doing. Then when it's time for something really soft, then there was this when Martins was praying for his father.
Please, Lord,
soft
restore him.
music underneath. When he started crying, I felt I was like, okay,
Was
this
giving
is
that
really-
emotional vibes.
This is really, really good. It was really nice.
Then
Jay
still
Mikey
talking
did well.
about background music.
Oh yeah,
It went so well. Like when Akin, that's Pastor Lawrence Oyo,
Yeah.
when he was in the room, he was introduced. We had that arcade kind of vibe. Then during the party too, when the previous scene, we had something like it was just so nice. It was so nice, like an audio representation of what she has seen.
The
It was
audio
actually very
the
nice.
sound helped to set the mood.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Then
helped to set the
another
mood.
thing I
that's
saw,
the purpose
another
of
thing I saw, and I think this is big thumbs up to Jemaiki. As much as it was cool and it was modern, we still had that Mount Zion feel. I kind of felt like there were some background music. It has been used in previous, but I didn't feel like it was overused. It just felt like this is a Mount Zion signature sound, and it was really cool. It was really cool.
Cinematography.
It was good. It was good.
The video quality was on point. You
Nice.
will love that.
Camera angles, the shots, everything.
Then, you know,
It didn't look fake in any way.
At all.
You know,
I like that.
You know what?
I think this is still under cinematography, right? That scene where he went to the grave, Commando.
Yes.
Where Commando went to the grave.
Yes.
After they
it's the
released him
episode.
from prison.
That was actually not real.
I
I think it was a green screen, but it didn't.
It looked
to
But
be
it
real.
looks so real.
Very real.
To be honest, I
The
didn't know.
shadow came at the back.
Yes.
Like I didn't know. It was just so nice. It was lit evenly. It's still under cinematography as it were. It was lit evenly such that it matches the
so
background
the
he
environment.
puts. Like it was just so nice, really. And also when he laid down on
And he crossed his hand.
it
The
was just so
back
nice.
screen, like
It
it
was
did
just
shake, nothing happened. It was really
It's
good.
really nice.
Shots were good. It was dead.
The costumes.
Yeah,
Costume.
yeah, costume was nice.
Everybody
nice.
had the costume to portray their character.
The rich auntie vibes.
Babagberu.
And also, I think we can also talk about the Secret Saiya guys. Because I mean, the normal costumes, like for people, that's what they wear normally, right? So that's really normal. But something like the Secret Saiya, there's a little bit of creativity in that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Especially the Grandmaster. He had this costume he wore together with the other guys, but it's different.
Okay.
His own costume was
His
different.
was different to showcase his rank.
Exactly.
When speaking about costume now, the set design.
Yeah, I think we can also talk about set design.
That place. I like the way it wasn't really all this babalawo vibe. I don't know how to put it.
The shrine?
It was just one calabash.
It wasn't a regular shrine.
Yes, it was simple and it was still like giving that same feeling.
I don't know if this is maturity. When I was younger, watching scenes like that used to scare me to death. Like I would, once I see, like, I'll just close my eyes. But like it was so nice that I could watch it and still enjoy it and not feel scared. I don't know if it's a thing of maturity or it's just crazy.
Like Nigerian movies then. Especially with the sound effect. You know, you hear this sound from the keyboard.
Still talking about the set design. It was moved a notch higher, right?
Yeah.
Like everything just made so much sense. Also the balloons when Bamiloye was having his birthday. Normally you could have just felt like it's his birthday. We don't necessarily have to put happy birthday there, but like we put the happy birthday. It was nice. Attention to details. Yeah. So talking about the storyline. It was really
worth
good.
the wait.
Yeah.
Actually.
I liked how they came back after 3 years and the introduction of like every character. Flora got married and she had twins. We didn't really know all those parts, but like the way the story like brought in this thing. I see Flora with her husband and their beautiful twins. I see Vero,
and there was actually a lesson there. There was a lesson there. You know, she talked about the fact that she was a prostitute, her husband was a cultist.
Yeah.
Normally, when people see people like that, they'll feel like, these people are like outcasts. Let's not. But she talked about Bamiloye being there for the two of them. And then, who would have believed the two of them would marry and have twins? Like, oh my God.
Okay,
So
you guys are forgetting the precedent. I don't like this. You're forgetting.
I'm not running for the post of a fellowship president. I'm running for the post of the student union president. You need to understand. I see you, Marco.
And actually, its post actually like showed what like reality is about. You are the student union president, but at the same time,
how you can easily neglect God.
Yes.
This is power.
Yes.
Power
And people do that alone. Once they have a taste of power, they
don't
forget
know
where
they're
they
doing
they
it.
You know,
forget
there
who
was
had their backing.
there was actually a very serious thing that came in there, and it's a lesson to be learned. If you postpone what you are called to do, it can actually affect so many lives.
Yes.
You know, I think that was talking about the
of
storyline. That was one of the parts that actually moved me to tears.
Can we talk about the power of prayer? The power of prayer. Because Vero felt Chief Sawyer was like, it was like
A
just
lost
pray.
cause.
Yeah, a lost cause. Doctors
Nothing.
already refused.
6
him.
hospitals.
But like the faith that Martins had in God to bring his father back to life, even after 3 years and the injuries and everything, the power of prayer was really strong.
True.
His faith was really strong.
It's faith. Not everyone has that kind of faith.
I love how
Some people, even after 1 year alone, they're just I give up.
situations to just make them like be like, okay.
Still
I'm true
talking
this, I'm
about
true this.
prayers though. I feel like it was a very good one because many times we feel like, I'm not saying medical practitioners or believing in medicine is not a good thing, but you see, when they all failed, what brought him back to life?
Prayer.
It was actually prayer.
Yeah.
At some point, I kind of was seeing myself in it, and I was like, if I'm in this type of situation, Martins
Like,
is in.
would
Would I actually believe? Would I
You might not be
believe?
the
The parts where they called for 40 days prayer and fasting. Oh God, that hits me so bad.
That's another
Hits me.
intercessory. People pray
Yes.
for you, not just you doing it yourself.
You pray for other people.
Being
honest, prays for you.
fasting and praying for other people.
Guys.
Fasting because you are praying for
other
someone
people.
else.
You're giving up something for another
Someone
person.
else.
And you know, many times we Christians, we feel like it's not, life is not really hard like that. I know Jesus fasted for 40 days, but do I really have to do it? I mean, he did it. But you know, one thing I actually saw was them Martins, they didn't see what was happening in the other realm. It was like the place in the scripture where they said, we would not eat until we've seen that these people are destroyed.
Yes,
Do you understand?
went on a
And
fast,
they
they
said
actually
they are
eat
going
as
to
well.
fast. So if the people,
So they meant business.
if the people in the world of darkness are
Are
fasting to
fasting
bring you
to
down,
destroy
how
someone.
much more you?
We Christian. Can you imagine?
I don't know if you get that.
We get.
No, I actually
That's deep.
The enemies
Like that's
fasting.
really deep.
They have to fast so they can just
And this is still more in the storyline. You know when he was talking about there are people hungry, yo. There are people hungry, yo. Because the truth is, you know, in the storyline you could have just made it like, oh, they are fasting. But the writer brought it up that really, yeah, they are really hungry. This is one day. It's not easy to go fasting.
And they're willing to go through any length to bring him down. So let's talk about your favorite part in the movie. What is your favorite part in the movie?
It would be when Chief Sonia and the Grandmaster had that altercation. Because at that point, I started shedding tears. It was really moving because he was like, Martin, save me. Then Martin's on his own path. And Baba Gbero, they were praying at the same time. He was over there and Jesus came. It was really nice. I liked how him coming back to life was true. Because he believed before that he was a lost cause. Then he, after, felt his son had more power to come and help him. Then he encountered Jesus. And after encountering Jesus, he did not just stop there.
It was until he called on Jesus.
Called on Jesus. And Jesus showed up. The fact that he showed up for him, I really liked that part.
So that's actually a lesson. Don't rely on men. Don't be like, Pastor,
he'll pray for me.
My pastor can do this. My pastor can do this. It is not by your pastor's might. It is Jesus' might.
Using him as a vessel.
Thank you.
Yes.
My favorite part was the encouragement that Martins got from Baba Gbero.
That's also my favorite part.
I really love that part because Martins was almost at the edge of giving up when his father was not responding to him. But they left their food, they came to come and help him when he noticed that he was singing alone. So they brought up that song to bring up his spirit and help him to stand strong. And because if they hadn't done that, who would have known what happened to Martin?
Yes. Assuming they left the room at that point.
The encouragement was really good.
So that's another lesson again. You have to encourage your brethren.
Actually.
Zion culture, what about you? I wanted to say that.
Your time is going to come. Yeah, so for me, I think it's still that part of the fellowship president turned SU president. Yeah, at some point, I really did not understand what the message was. If it was that, okay, it should not be an SU president, or if it was balanced. But later we got to understand, right? That if you are not very careful, you can actually neglect your ministry. You know, sometimes why you are not doing some things is flimsy excuse. But there are times that you actually have legit excuses. Do you understand? Legit things can be put in your front that would actually take you away from your place of ministry. And you have to be very, very careful.
Your favorite part?
My favorite part is the same part that Dorcas made mention of. Well, as if all hope was lost for him. And they came in to give him the encouragement that he needed. I loved that part.
And you know something is that we need to have someone that we can stand on. Someone that you can pray with, someone that believes in what you
that helps you to stand.
Yes, that supports
because you won't always be strong.
You won't always.
You won't be strong, so you need people that can.
And that's why the church
is
needed.
People like Aaron and all. Can always hold your hands.
And there was a time like during this coronavirus period that people were like, we can do it online now. We don't need to go to church. That wasn't evident during that period and all. But at the same time, if you don't go to church, how you get brethren to help you to stand?
Don't forsake the gathering
together. It's not even about just going to church. If you don't communicate, if you don't relate with people, you won't have that.
So what you guys tell us what you think about this abattoir in the comments.
Yes, have you guys watched it? If you've not watched it, and
watch it. Run, like, go and download it. I don't know what you want to do, but you have to watch it.
If you've watched it, we'd like to know what you think. What are your favorite parts? And what are the lessons?
You learn from this. Yes. Don't forget about encouragement, so we need that. Alright.
So till next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. Maintain design culture, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.